video where Piratesoftware addresses allegation in anything for content.
Hey everybody, there's a whole lot of weird statements and allegations and content nukes and all this kind of stuff being levied against me, and I've refuted those things in many different locations on the internet, but I thought it'd be good to put together this video so you guys had it all in one
Mainly,
location, because people
all
are
of
fighting
these
over little pieces.
allegations and him fighting back is mainly on Twitter. At least that's what I saw. I think he used Bluesky too. He uses Bluesky too, but I don't know.
Of information and ones that they hadn't heard and all of this kind of stuff everywhere that they can. So if I put it all in one location, it's much easier for you guys to find everything, and then you can just divert people to this instead. Much easier. And no, I'm not going to monetize this video. I just want to get this out there so you guys can actually see what the hell is going on the other side. Number 1, Maldavius Fig Tree. This is the character that everyone's talking about. You'll actually see this posted all over the internet with people trying to use it as some kind of a gotcha against me. Except this character's never been secret. I talk about it all the time on stream, and I usually refer to Second Life, which is where this character resides, as an adult version of Roblox. And this character isn't just used in Second Life either. In fact, I've used it in other games. Kill the Moon is a demo that I never ended up releasing because it kind of sucks. It was fun to build, something kind of a side thing, took us maybe 2 months to do, and it was a good exercise, kind of like doing a game jam. But there's the character. I use it everywhere, because it's my cool old object head character, and I like that kind of a thing. With that in mind, the allegations that were brought against me were pretty goddamn heavy, but they're also not the first time they've been brought against me. The first time was in August of 2024, where I had to put out this announcement that's still up in the news channel on our Discord. I said apparently some people believe that I ripped off an underage artist 16 years ago. That artist went by Wingless Emoto at the time and
16 years
is now
ago.
known as Face on Twitter. They were 17 and I was 19 when all of this went down, and no, we never did anything sexual together.
It's 16 years ago. How the fuck people come up with this shit?
We made avatars in Second Life, and our work was really popular. And by really popular, I mean we were one of like the top 3 avatar creators at the time. The 2 of us made about $5,000 to $10,000 US every month doing this. They did all the models, and I did all the programming in LSL. This is part of me being a freelancer back in the day before my career really took off. We had a falling out over pay splits, and Wingless open sourced our work. Wingless wanted 80-20. Our agreement was 50-50. When I said no, Wingless took all of our stuff, sent it out to the entire world with full permissions. Second Life has a permission system where you can change the permissions that the next user has, and by checking all of the boxes, they had free reign to distribute, modify, and copy our work infinitely. They never got fired, they quit on their own.
16 years ago, I just ignored it then. I already start with that same proposition, yeah. It's 16 fucking years ago. For fuck's sake. I had people complain for even less than this, but still 16 years ago, allegations of sexual harassment, what to say, anything sexual, underage, come on. Come on.
This on the way out. Tabloids at the time do what tabloids do. We were kind of a big deal in the game at the time for the avatars we were selling, so they made extreme and idiotic statements and took the side of just the artists without reaching out to me. These tabloids still exist, and people are starting to dig them up now. That's it. This is 20-year-old drama. Now, here's the interesting part. Mame and I made up 4 to 5 years later. We've been best friends ever since. You can actually reach out to them to confirm any of this. We've been talking about them coming on stream to stop this tide of idiocy because this isn't the first time. This isn't even the second time. This has happened for years. People try to do it all the time to try and take me down, and the 2 of us always shut it down together because it's wrong. It's completely wrong. And it's using Wingless, or Mameface, as a weapon to try to bludgeon me when we're friends. And if you don't believe me, well, let's just go look at it together. Here's the post by Wingless. Mameface. I'm Wingless Emoto. I really was 17, and nothing sexual happened. If anything had happened, I would have outed him in 2008. See, there's the problem. They made this post publicly on the internet, and people didn't care. In fact, they also made this post publicly on YouTube, on the content nuke for this, and people didn't care. They tried to say that Wingless was actually a sock puppet account of mine, except Mameface's account here is from 2013. And then they tried to say, oh, well, maybe it's him anyway, and he's just been playing the long game. The goalposts keep shifting, but we keep providing evidence. From there, somebody actually did try to impersonate Mameface with a Wingless Emoto YouTube account. The only account they ever had before was Wingless Chimera, and the reason why is because
people are bored, so they do this. No, I think that most people do this for exposure, to have as it has any free for content, is in order to get famous and make a living out of this, to have views, to make money. Not only because people are bored. Most happens because people are bored, but this in particular, if it gets online in public and everything, it's because they know they can monetize this.
Because Wingless Emoto is a Second Life name. Emoto is the last name that you could choose from a list of names to put on your character, kind of like mine had Fig Tree. And at the time, there was no way to change this. Their handle was never Wingless Emoto. It was Wingless Chimera and now Mameface. And when the internet inevitably brings this up in another 3 months to 6 months, I'll just show them this video because we've refuted this time and time again. And the two of us are still friends after almost 2 decades. You're not going to kill that. And you're not going to kill me with these allegations.
Okay.
Now for the second one, Asmongold.
As off about this, I think it's literally, this is basically just for content. There are allegations. If they're still friends and even the other guy keeps saying, nope, nothing happened, you just full of shit and stuff like that. It's literally, I mean, it's already proven wrong. Otherwise, the other guy will have been like, yeah, no, yeah, you actually did it, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I think we can already say that this thing needs debunked. Montavious Factory, whatever the fuck that is. Let's hear what's the beef about Asmongold.
I recently went on Asmongold's stream and I
Yep.
talked about a game called Ashes of Creation.
Yes.
People feel betrayed that I talked to Asmongold in the first place
Why?
because they feel like his ideals will somehow seep into our community and they're
Why?
inherently negative.
Oh,
they also
come
feel
on.
very angry because a lot of people in the comments on things like Twitter were going and attacking them and they feel like that's somehow a core part of our community.
Oh, come on, come on, okay. I know the Asmon community is different. By different, I mean there's a lot of things in it because there are people left wing, right wing. It's a shit show of people thinking extremes, okay, of the political diagram. But at the same time, I'm sorry to say this, but if you actually think, yeah, different. But if you actually think that the problem is Asmongold, you're completely fucked up in your head. Asmongold does everything he does for content. Even when he's actually serious and talks about the things he thinks, okay? Everything down deep is for content, okay? He is literally milking all of you, all of us at the same time, okay? And it's not a bad thing about this. I mean, it's not like he says, "Oh yeah, I'm not doing that for content." He literally does everything for content. He literally says that. He's a dick because he's good for content. That's his persona. And the thing is, his persona is the same as his online persona. So it's real. So you either like it or not. Point. But at the same time, if you're mad because your content creator, in this case, fucking Piratesoftware, who is, from what I heard, from the streams I saw, from everything I known him since, I don't know, 3 years now? 2 to 3 years? He always been the nice guy. If you're now butthurt because a nice guy means the fucking daredevil, they are fucking talking. It's their job, okay? What, you rather fucking him talking about Ashes of Creation with Hassan Habi, which it doesn't even play fucking video games? I don't know. I think that people get fucking hurt for the most stupid shit. And we all need to grow some balls more.
Let's get into that. This video came out from a content creator called Narc. The reason that I had the conversation with Asmongold in the first place is because of this. As you can see, it shows a desert that's kind of, well, drab and empty. Narc's video talks about how he felt betrayed by the developers, and he felt like the game was a scam, and he showcased this desert as an example of those feelings, saying the desert...
We can already start saying that Ashes Bridge is still in alpha, and that's already a lot.
Had not been completed and that there was nothing there. He had actually misrepresented
Draw a third one
content
then.
here. You see, this is the very edge of the map in an area that's not finished in a very early alpha version of the game. And in the game today, still in alpha, it looks like this.
By the way, wait. Because I am talking with my face over his, and maybe it will be better if I move shit around. Okay, yeah, just move my camera here. Yep. There we go.
And it's really, really cool looking.
Yeah!
Misrepresenting that on Asmongold's stream, he actually set the tone to 50,000 plus people. Now, to
Jesus
understand how big of a
Christ.
deal that is, Ashes of Creation's primary Discord only has about 100,000 members. Our
Yeah, okay,
community
it's not
is
that
about
much.
20,000 of those. We play this game all the time.
Yep.
So I'm very invested in wanting to play this. I really enjoy this game, as do many other members of our community. And the moment those calls went out saying the game was a scam, Asmongold's chat started to fill up with people echoing that sentiment because they had no other information. Right after this, Asmongold had on Stephen Sharif, the creative director for the game, and he showed off the desert to the best of his ability and refuted the claims. The problem was some of the people in chat were still saying, oh, that's fake, that's the developer, he's lying just to get money. So I went on, reached out to Asmongold and said, hey, I've had 500 hours in this, come and talk to me. And he had me on. We talked about it for about an hour, and I produced this video that's about 35 minutes long as a result of that. And the whole thing is me basically talking about the game and Asmongold saying, That's kind of the whole thing. It's like a live react video.
Yeah, it's literally nothing too crazy. Don't even know, like, changing opinions and shit like that. Asmongold is like, is the situation about Ascension creation real? Yes or no? Piratesoftware explains. That's it.
There's nothing in here that's inflammatory. There's nothing in here that promotes hateful rhetoric, as people have been claiming. And this is all very mundane. So right after I put this out, a lot of people were really angry. So I had to put out a statement about it. I said a lot of people are mad that I talked to Asmongold recently about Ashes of Creation. I can see all of your comments and messages about this through YouTube and here on Twitter. In this instance, another creator made a disparaging video about the game, and Asmon didn't have enough game knowledge to talk about it because he hasn't had the chance to play it. So this immediately makes the audience have a negative opinion of something with nobody there to say otherwise. I have over 500 hours in the game and refuted the video by the other creator. As Asmon's channel was the flashpoint for this, it makes sense to talk to him about the situation and clear the air of bullshit. We did this live on Twitch the same day it happened. In the internet of today, if you don't say something, then the room will fill up with people who do. I chose to help set the record straight on this, and I'm glad to have done so. If you want to cancel me for this, for talking to him, that's fine, but I would do this again given the chance. The developers don't deserve unwarranted hate.
I will drink water, Loggy, thank you.
The reason why is because as many people on the internet tried to state I was platforming him and his ideals by doing this, his community is massive compared to ours. If you have all of those people with a negative sentiment about the game and they have absolutely no other information to refute it,
I don't think I can lift my
and I don't think those developers deserve that level of hate whatsoever. And if
I can stretch a bit though, 100% that.
Becomes, terrible and out of hand, then why wouldn't I take that opportunity? For those of you who think that I
base
paid
as
money
fun
for this or anything like that, I didn't. This was not a financially advisable thing to do. People are pissed about me taking a stance on that, but I think it's the right thing to do. If you see something that's false, say something about it. And if you don't like that I talk to him about it, that's fine. If your whole entire idea here is to try to take down Asmongold, and the only way you can think to do that is by coming after me for having a conversation about a video game, you're not going to get that accomplished, and it doesn't make any sense. From there, I've had to put out another one, and I was kind of pissed.
Yeah, it was too much shit going on here.
Because I basically just said, this is why I did it, I do it again. It's a little
I will again, it's disgusting, not gonna lie.
Under those circumstances, I would have absolutely had that
Who the fuck are you, Lily?
Being on with him, another creator was there defaming the developers and the game we talked about. As Asmongold didn't have an understanding of the game, he couldn't refute the claims. It was being bashed to 50,000 plus people, which is a death sentence for games of this size and at this early alpha stage of development. And by the way, these are the types of allegations that have been brought about it for years. And after we had that talk, they've all but disappeared.
They've been saying that Ashes Creation was a scam since its first views. I mean, the first videos of it came out because too huge. He aims to do too much things. Blah blah blah. The costs are high because the graphics are shit. They updated it from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. They actually do a lot of shit the money that you guys are giving them. You have to give credit to the developing team for this, 100%. They've been doing a lot of stuff. And also, thanks to people like Piratesoftware that actually know about game dev, he's one of those that reports most of the bugs in alpha. He's helping a lot to get the dev team to actually make a nice packaged game. I don't remember, more than 1,000, even more than 10,000 bugs were reported by him and his team. Just his guild. So, just saying, they're helping a lot. And alpha, for fuck's sake. If you expect that alpha it's a fucking finished thing, that means you literally are out of touch with reality and you don't know nothing about video games.
Barely ever get those types of statements in chat anymore. It's really nice now that that air has been cleared. So it had a definitive positive effect on the sentiment for the game. So to reach out to Asmund, as I have 500 hours in this is
Yep.
just a repetition of the same stuff. But threads like this are just filled with people that are bashing me for just having the
I
conversation.
mean, look at it.
don't
I
think
will
anyone
do it
should
again. It's
ever be
disgusting. Not gonna
restricted from
lie.
having a normal conversation about normal things. I think the idea of going after someone for guilt by association
yeah.
is really dangerous. You can be mad at me for things that are real, but if you're mad
Yeah.
at me because I spoke to someone that you disagree with, this is going to get really out of
Come
hand really
on.
quickly. And I
Jesus
don't
Christ.
want that kind of environment, and our
No,
community
get
is
the fuck-
definitely not that
Yeah,
kind of
get the fuck out of the
you
community.
can and should be able to speak to anyone
Yeah.
about anything that you want to. And
Completely
if
agree with
people are
that.
going to go off the deep end to attack you for that, we're more cooked than I thought. Or
Cooked.
the indie game that I work on.
Yeah.
People are currently review bombing this. They're very
Oh,
upset, and I can understand
shit.
why in some of those cases I haven't worked on the game for the last year. I could have communicated better this entire
Ares,
time,
stop.
and that's completely on me. I'm a dumbass for not putting out more announcement posts and releasing information to you guys to let you know that was what was going on, and I was stressed the entire time and acting like a fool. With that in mind, I've started putting out updates on this game again. We actually put the first one out on January 19th, 2025.
Yeah.
I made an announcement out to the Discord about this on that date, saying that we'd be moving to monthly update builds. Everybody was really
Okay.
excited about this.
There we
and they're
go.
quite happy with it. I then put out a video talking about what was going on and why this all happened. People seem
Yeah.
to really like this. It's sitting at 4K likes on it.
There
It's
we
got about
go.
93,000 views, and most of the people inside of the core community were really excited about the prospect of the game coming out now. And we have it all listed in timestamps for everything that's
Okay.
going on there.
Jesus
and
fucking
why
Christ,
we're
it's
doing
a
all of
lot.
this kind of stuff. With that in mind, this led to the review bomb, but it didn't stop me from working on it. On February 1st, I released the first patch, just like I said I was going to. We
That's
put out
the
the patch
purpose
notes
of
for it.
Google.
I made another announcement on the Discord, and I plan to make the next patch on March 1st. In fact, I work on it all the time. I was even showing it off on stream earlier. This is part of the new environment that I'm putting together.
Oh yeah,
for
he has been working on this
March
a
1st. There's
long
lot of
fucking
dialogue in
time.
here, and it's the end of a chapter.
For
so
months.
there's a huge amount of stuff that I have to do.
Yep.
I've also updated the Heartbound ARG in the background, which a lot of people don't even realize is there. But we'll talk more
Yep.
about ARGs and puzzle mechanic stuff later. So with all of that in
Okay.
mind, if you're still upset at me about this, I get it. For those valid reasons,
I mean,
of
it's a
not
lot of complex
communicating
things,
and not
though.
putting out information and not putting out updates to the game, I understand and I hear you, and I'm sorry for that. For
But
the other
you're already working on it, so props to you. You know that it's your fault, not completely, but at the same time, you are the game developer, so you take fault for this. And you're already working on it, so props to you.
other amount of posts that are on there, there's quite a lot of them that you'll find inside of those reviews that aren't even about the video game.
There we go.
I'll put things in there like Maldavia's Fig Tree, which
Yeah,
we
there we
discussed
go.
in the first part of this video, or complaining about me talking to Asmund.
Asmund, oh my
or saying
fucking
Mana
God.
Gem from World of Warcraft, because they
Jesus
still haven't
fucking-
let that go, or all the
Ah,
other shit that goes on
okay.
there. It's all of the allegations all of the time,
Yeah.
and because of that, I had to lock down the Steam forums to stop people from talking about this stuff because it's incredibly obnoxious. Not to
Yep.
stop them from giving critique or, saying like, "Oh, you did a bad thing." Stopping them from doing things like posting my home address and telling me to kill
Oh
myself. 'Cause
shit.
that's what a lot of them were.
Yep.
And we reported
Okay.
those to Steam, and I can thank you, Steam, for banning those accounts for
Well,
doing that. If you're just a normal player caught in the
thank God.
crossfire, again, I am sorry. Please wait until March 1st and the 1st of every month thereafter for the next updates.
Ares, sta buono.
Now for the next one, which is Ashes of Creation.
Okay.
Ashes of Creation is an MMO that is in very early alpha. I actually talked about it earlier in this video during the Asmund Gold segment. Something that I play quite frequently, and I play on the Lineth server, and I am currently the mayor of Halcyon. I actually just got re-elected. So thank you.
Okay.
Glorious population. With that in
There we go.
mind, it's a game that is a social sandbox. And if
Yep.
you've ever played one of those, they're usually built on player conflict. There's a lot of propaganda that's put out. There's a lot of shit talking between players and things like that.
There
Very
you go.
similar to EVE Online or Albion or Foxhole. If you've ever played Foxhole
Foxhole.
before, you know
There
that
we
the
go.
wardens eat babies as an
There we
example
go.
of propaganda, right? Very simple stuff. Collies definitely don't, though. So with that in mind, this server is rife with this kind of behavior. It's very normal. And there's a lot of tension on the line because we're constantly combating each other and trying to get the upper hand through different resources. In one of those groups that I was in, inside of my own guild,
Okay.
I accidentally pulled something with a spell called Ball Lightning. And you can see it kind of off in the back there. I thought
Yeah.
somebody else in the group pulled this, and I was really pissed off, and I blamed the rest of the team. And the reason why I had done that is because earlier on in the fights, people just kept pulling random shit. And then I
Okay.
accidentally pulled random shit, and I looked like a dumbass because I was an angry dumbass.
There we
This
go.
was entirely my fault. And later on, when we reviewed the footage, we realized it was entirely my fault.
There we
and then
go.
I apologized to
There
everyone
we go.
involved. Later on, we ended the raid and we moved on to other content. all of these people are still in the guild, and we still run with each other all the time.
There we
So
go.
I know
Shit
people on
happens.
the internet get really agitated about stuff clipped
Yep.
out of context, but here I was mad, and then we worked it out. Outside of that,
Yep.
the weird narratives that I've somehow been kicked from the server are completely false. As you've seen on my earlier part of this video, I'm on a flying mount. Flying mounts are only available for mayors after getting reelected by people where they have to vote on me. We're also the
Okay.
dominant force on the server. We fight with everyone all of the time, as we should in any PvP-focused game,
Yeah.
and we give a lot of reports and reviews and bug reports to the
Yeah,
developers
there you go.
all the
Yeah,
time.
told
We
you.
also run internal information and have a thriving community of about 22,000 people on the Discord.
I wish I could play this game, but I don't have money. I don't have fucking money. I'm literally I might literally die next day. I don't even know.
Specifically for this game. So, not going anywhere. I haven't been kicked out, and this wasn't that big of a deal, even though I was a jackass.
People fucking how you call it? People get mad about video games all the time, even Call of Duty. I mean, fuck you, you're trash, blah blah blah. It happens, but it's still every single time you're still friends, right? Right?
Now,
If
the
you're a
next
grow
one,
up
people
man,
are
you
calling
can
me a
you-
nepo baby.
you
For
can-
those who don't understand the term, a nepo baby is somebody who got their job only through nepotism, never accomplished anything. in their career.
because his father. Come on. The situation about him is crazy. I think we can stop here because, I mean, we can say that all of this situation is
Fun with
kind
it.
of
People in the
like
community really enjoyed it, and they were very, very
fucking
long
stupid.
periods of time for both games. I believe Outer Wilds was beaten in
what is
some
this?
book, shitload of methods in it. I have a ton
Ah.
of books like this. because of
Okay.
this. And I went home and started making my own on a website called potatoplaid.net. Made it with Brett. It's actually defunct now, but it is lost among the stars. The stars.png on the server is actually this image here, which is a color-shifted version of the night sky. In the EXIF data for that are these numbers here.
Oh
They
my
had to
god,
determine
they're
that those
talking
were-
about
it was only
cheating.
2 days before I actually started playing it. From there, I asked people to send in any type of guides that would contain all
Okay.
the puzzles that we solved throughout it, and those came out after we stopped playing the game. May 19th, May 22nd, and this one on May 23rd. There are likely other guides that exist out there, but I don't know about them. The people who ended up helping us solve this
come on.
were people in chat. We solved it together as a community. With
Okay.
13,008 people in the
Okay.
chat. My guess is that there
Okay.
would be a lot of people who were there from the puzzle solving community.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a bunch of bullshit. Now,